In this lesson, we'll be doing this erratic animation. Sometimes you just need something to move around all crazy. I'm going to show you how you can build this type of animation really quickly without manually creating a bunch of keyframes and tweens. I'm going to show you a cool tip that allows you to insert keyframes simply by clicking on an element in the middle of a tween span. Check it out. Alright, so for this erratic animation, or this irregular animation, I'm going to take the ball out of the library, place it on the stage. Now I could just go to frame number 10, hit F6, add a new keyframe, move this thing over here, go to frame 20, add a new keyframe, move it down, go to frame 30, add a new keyframe by hitting F6, and move the ball up. So now I have these different keyframes with the ball in a different position in each one. And then I would have to go right click, create classic tween, right click, create classic tween, and right click, create classic tween. So now I have the ball sort of moving all over the place, whatever, okay? If I wanted to, I could also change the scale of it in different frames, but it's a lot of work to create all these keyframes and create these 3 different classic tweens. So let me show you a quicker way. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. I'm just gonna do undo school, all right? I should graduate from this pretty soon. And there I am. I have my ball on frame number 1, and I'm gonna go to frame number 30 and hit F6 to add my new keyframe, and then I'm going to just bring the ball over here. All right, I'm going to right click, create classic tween, and now I have the animation of the ball moving between frame 1 and frame 30. And let's do this. If I go back to frame number 10, notice that with the selection tool, I can't click on that ball to select it. I don't get the blue outline around it. The deal here is that I can only select an item in a keyframe, not in the middle of a tween span like this. But check this out. If I click and drag, it creates a keyframe for me. I can go to frame 20, and I can then, it's 21, in frame 20, I can click and hold, and it will also create a keyframe for me. And let me just bring this down here. So now I have a similar animation, and I didn't have to hit F6. I didn't have to right click to create new keyframes all the time. It just sort of worked for me, all right? I can go to frame number 25 here, and again, with the selection tool, if I click and hold, boom, it creates a keyframe, and then I can do whatever I want, and I'm going to move it up there. In frame number 15, I can, again, click and hold to create a keyframe, and I'm going to switch over now to my free transform tool, and I'm going to scale up in this frame, all right? And now there's something slightly different with the free transform tool when we try this trick. If I go to frame number 5, say, and if I click on it, free transform tool won't select it. If I click and hold with the free transform tool, I'm holding for 10 seconds, I'm not getting a new keyframe. With the free transform tool, to do this trick, you actually have to click and move it somewhere, and then the keyframe shows up, all right? So with the regular selection tool, clicking and holding will create the keyframe. With the free transform tool, it's clicking and holding down and moving. So here I'll just shrink this one down a little bit. And so with just a little bit of clicking and dragging, I have this sort of erratic animation, okay? Again, nothing's planned where it goes in each frame. We're just doing sort of random stuff, okay? So I just want you to know that you can't select something between a classic tween span. So let me just go to frame 55, do this one more time. I'll F6 to add a new keyframe. We'll right click to create a classic tween. And again, right here in this frame, I can't click and select, but using the free transform tool, I can move it up here. I can go to frame number 45, move it down here, and shrink it down. All right. So I didn't have to right click and create new classic tweens. I could just select mid span and move it around. So there's my erratic animation. And again, crack open the start file and try to do this for yourself. I think you'll have some fun with it. Awesome.
Normal Dadini.